Making videos, just like this one, has literally changed my life. It started out as an interesting hobby, but it's been a significant factor in bringing me interesting, creative, freelance opportunities, and it's grown into a way that I can make a very good income from creative work that I can do whenever I want to and wherever I want to. In 2021, I spent 3 glorious months in Greece and Italy, and I now live in Sydney, near the beach, with the freedom to go and be wherever I want to be and work there, because all I need is an internet connection. Online education has become so normalised now, and this is the time to think about taking the teaching skills that you already have and putting them out there on video and making a living from it. This isn't just a dream. I've done it, so can you. I'm Jo Gakonga. I'm a teacher educator, CELTA trainer, assessor, and I've been making videos at elttraining.com since 2012. In January 2022, I launched Video Creation for Educators, my VoiCE program, and I've been helping teachers ever since on their journey to become independent and successful through making video. If this sounds good and you think it might be something that you'd like to do, then keep watching. Let's start with this. Why is video making important for teachers? You might think that you've been teaching perfectly well without making video, possibly for years. So why do you need to start now? Stop and think about how important video has become. If you want to know how to do anything, where do you go? Probably YouTube. How do you plait hair? How do you milk a cow? How do you fix something on your car or your washing machine? It's all on YouTube. And English language learners go there too to learn grammar and vocabulary. And English language teachers go there looking for development. It's all on YouTube, and video is the key. This was obviously already happening before 2020, but COVID and lockdowns and more working from home has meant there's been a real push towards working online and a real normalisation of learning online. Video is a great way of getting to the people that you want to get to because it's so personal. So although it's a one-way medium and you're not actually interacting with your audience, you can't talk to me, but there's a strong feeling probably that you as a watcher, as a viewer of this video even, feel like you probably have some feeling about me, some connection with me, some relationship with me. Text will do this as well. Of course, you could write a blog, but video is more immediate, more visceral, more personal. People tend to buy from people they know, like, and trust. And video can help people to know you and to like you and to trust that you know what you're talking about and that you can help them. Maybe you've already tried this, or maybe you haven't, but you're thinking that it's going to be quite a lot of work. And why would you bother? Well, let me give you some good reasons. The first is to support the learners that you already have. You might want to give them extra work outside of class or use a flipped classroom approach. This is applicable and useful for all levels and all ages, really doesn't matter. Your learners will love video that's made by their teacher, and it'll also make you more employable. If you were looking to take on a new teacher, wouldn't you want someone who had those skills? Another reason is that you might want to start your own online teaching business one-to-one or with group classes. This will definitely be much more lucrative than working for a school or through an agency, and it can start as something small on the side. It doesn't have to be all or nothing, but you will need to market your services, show prospective learners who you are and make them choose you over somebody else. Video is the best way to do this. It's a really useful way to market yourself, to show people who you are and why your services would be the best ones to choose. Finally, and this is definitely the most powerful one for me, you might want to use your expertise, the skills you already have, to make video-based courses, online courses that you can sell and earn a passive income, as I do. So creating a course is quite a bit of work, I can't deny that, but you have control over it. And once it's done, it's got a long shelf life, and all you have to do is to keep marketing it, keep pushing it out there, and the money will keep rolling in. So there are 3 good reasons for you, and with all of them, video making is the key. Let me tell you a little bit about my story. I started out as an English teacher in 1988, and I had a wonderful early career teaching in places as diverse as Switzerland and Taiwan and the Czech Republic and Australia and Kenya. When my oldest child was born, we went back to the Midlands and I taught ESOL in a local college for several years. And then in 2010, when my youngest son started school, I decided that I felt ready for a bit more development myself. So I enrolled on an MA TESOL programme at Warwick University. In all honesty, I didn't expect it to change my professional life very much. I had a nice job with nice colleagues and interesting students. I was teaching ESOL and doing CELTA work. It was fine. But I think that investing in yourself is always a good thing, and it can lead to places that you never imagined, and that's certainly what happened to me. While I was doing the MA, I got really interested in the potential of the internet for teacher development, especially to help my CELTA trainees who I knew often had no idea about grammatical terminology, even though they had English as a first language. They didn't know what an adverb was. They didn't know why articles were difficult. So I wanted to develop a course that would help them to learn that. So I used my MA dissertation research to pilot a grammar for English language teachers course. And on the back of that, in 2012, I launched the course that I developed on elttraining.com. That's when I started the website. This all seems like really quite a long time ago now, and since then I've expanded my offering to 7 paid courses and 7 free resources and a group program. The site itself has grown from what was basically just an interesting hobby and brought me in a bit of pocket money to be my major income. In 2021, I quit my job at Warwick University, and I'm currently earning more than I've ever earned in any of the teaching jobs I've ever had, doing work that's creative and interesting and rewarding, and over which I have complete control, which is important to me. As I've said before, I can also work wherever and whenever I want to, as long as I have an internet connection. So this kind of freedom is a wonderful thing, believe me. This is my story, this is what I've achieved, and it's very achievable. I'm not extraordinary, I don't think. you can do this too. If you're interested in the sort of things that might be stopping you, keep watching. I think there are different factors which might push you away from what you're doing now and might be the reason that you're here looking for alternative, or pull you towards making video in a more positive way. So let's have a look at both of those things now. The push factors are the kind of things which make English teaching a difficult profession for many. It's an incredibly rewarding job, has been my experience, but it's hard work, and burnout isn't at all uncommon in our profession, and in many contexts that I know, the pay is very low. This can apply horrendously enough to even to reputable schools and even to quite specialised work. And conditions of employment are often quite uncertain, especially in these times, and I think online teaching actually hasn't made this any better. In fact, for many teachers, I think it's made the situation significantly worse. So these are the things which might push you towards looking for something else. But there are other more positive reasons why you might think about introducing video making into your career and your life. So if you've been teaching in the classroom for a while and you already have those good classroom management skills and teaching skills, you might feel that it's time to develop something new for your own professional interest. For me, that was a big one. It was a steep learning curve and it was an interesting thing. So you might want to learn it as a new skill. It's also a great way to introduce a low-risk side hustle into your professional life. So you don't have to give up your job and go freelance immediately, or indeed ever if you don't want to. It won't cost you very much to have a go at this, and it's perfectly possible to see it as an interesting hobby, which may grow into something much more substantial, as it has for me. I hope you're still with me. Let's think about things which may be stopping you. So, what's stopping you? Why isn't everybody doing this if it's so great, Joe? You might be asking. I think there are quite a few reasons. So will you just stop me for a second? Just pause the video and think about, what are your reasons? Why haven't you started? You're obviously a bit interested or you wouldn't be here. Just stop me for a minute. Did you do that? I hope you did. Let's see if the ones that I'm going to talk about are the same as the ones that you already thought about yourself. For a lot of people, the main barrier is a lack of confidence. I feel nervous about getting in front of a camera, or I don't feel comfortable about putting myself out there in a public forum. You shouldn't let this stop you. You're a teacher. You stand up in front of people every day. You know how to engage people. You know how to help them to gain new knowledge and skills. Doing it in video format is no different, I promise you. Connected with that is the problem that seeing yourself on video can be a bit cringy. I completely get this. I spent a lot of time doing voiceover videos and not showing myself. Perhaps the first 4 or 5 years that I was making video, I never showed myself. I felt that I was too old and wrinkly and grey and fat. But what I realised is that people aren't really that interested in what you look like. They're interested in your message. So you go to class every day without worrying too much about your appearance. So what's the difference on video? You can, as I did, make video where you don't show yourself and just use PowerPoint slides or other narration programs. But I think people like to see who they're listening to. I think it makes more of a personal connection. You probably want to know what I look like if you're listening to me talk. Maybe it's not only the way you look that's causing you trouble. You might not always like to hear the way that you sound. Again, this just gets easier over time, really. The more you do it, the easier it gets. And you have to remember again that all your family and your friends and your learners hear exactly how you sound all the time, and they love it. They don't have any problem with it, so why should you worry about it? What else might get in the way? Well, maybe you just think it's all very technically difficult and you'll never be able to learn how to do this. Well, on this one, you're just wrong. If you can drag and drop, if you can save files, if you've got that very basic kind of computing skill, you'll be fine. Making video isn't hard at all. Learning to edit video takes a bit of time, just like learning any new program, I guess, but it isn't difficult. It's just a bit fiddly in places until you get used to it, but it's not too hard. So that one shouldn't be a problem. How about time? Maybe you're thinking that you just don't have enough of it to add something else into the mix. Well, that's true for most of us, I guess. I can't say that video making isn't time consuming, because it really is. But it's very creative work. It's not like studying for an exam or something like that. It's more like an interesting puzzle or a painting, something creative. I think you'll want to do it. I think you'll enjoy doing it. I think you'll want to do it instead of watching Netflix, for example. And remember that there's no hurry to do any of this. It doesn't matter if it takes you a month or a year to develop your online course. It's all up to you. It's your time, your pace. You can build things as slowly as you like and enjoy the ride as you go along. What else could be holding you back? Well, you might be thinking that you need a lot of expensive equipment. It's just not true either. You almost certainly already have most of what you will need. You can record yourself on your phone. This is recorded on my phone, and that's probably got a better quality camera than your laptop or your webcam, but you could use either of those as well. A tripod is a helpful thing, but you could always prop your phone up on books. A microphone makes a big difference, but they're very cheap. You will need an editing program, but this isn't a huge investment either. And spoiler alert here, if you do my group program, VoiCE program, I'll give it to you for free and you'll have lifetime access to it. Okay, I have one more objection that you may or may not have thought of. Did I cover all of the things you've got already? Okay, how about this one? A big one for people is often that they think of an idea and then they go onto YouTube and they realise that other people are already doing this and they get put off. They start to think, what authority do I have to put my expertise into the mix here? Isn't the market already completely saturated? Well, the short answer for this is no. Think about a comedian that you like. They might be really successful, but they're not the only comedian out there on the internet. Think about successful singers or bands or actors. Just because one is good, or teacher trainers for that matter, just because one is good, it doesn't mean there's no space for others. There are lots of different English teachers promoting their services, and they all seem to find work. The root of this thought is imposter syndrome, and it's absolutely normal and very, very common. In fact, if not universal. I certainly get it too. It's your brain trying to keep you safe. But you don't have to listen to that voice. Your message will speak to your audience. The learners who watch your videos will find your content useful in just the same way as the learners in your class do. You just need to find them, or to help them to find you. So if I've convinced you that actually none of this is going to be as difficult as you think, then keep watching and I'll tell you about how I can help you. I hope after all this that you're starting to feel that video making might be an interesting thing to do. And so of course the next question is, how can I help you to do it? My group programme, Video Creation for Educators, is the answer. It's an 8-week programme designed to take you from no knowledge at all to being able to make high quality video for social media and online courses. So if you already have some expertise, some experience in video making, then it'll also take you to the next level and take you to a place where you can get a course out there and start earning money. I know from over 20 years of running teacher training courses like CELTA that a powerful way to learn a practical skill, especially one that's a little bit confronting perhaps, is in an environment with peers learning together. The same issues arise and it's easier to see it when other people fall into those holes. So you can see the mistakes that you might make, and you can also get inspired by other people's successes. So this kind of program also fosters accountability. You have to make a video so as not to let your peers down, and you've got support as well. Everybody turns into a cheerleader. This inevitably leads to success because you cannot fail to improve a practical skill if you keep doing it and you keep trying to change. After 2 weeks, you'll already have the basics of Camtasia under your belt. That's a powerful editing program that I will give you as part of the course. And by the end of the course, you'll be making really professional looking videos like this example from Nathan, who started with no video making experience at all.
Music is love, and love is music. Yeah.
I've always really enjoyed travelling, so I guess teaching English was a career that I kind of fell into quite nicely. It gives you the chance to connect with people and change their lives for the better. And I find that really rewarding. IELTS is an incredibly difficult test, so it's vital that candidates get the right support they need. I've helped thousands of students, and my online course gives you everything you need to succeed. It's made up of videos, quizzes, and lots of advice and knowledge and skills from me, all of which can be done in your own time, at your own convenience, with me as your teacher by your side. Together, we've got this.
I hope you like that. If you want to see other case studies, then they're at the end of this short program. You can see more. The course is very practical in nature. Every week you have input on an aspect of video making or editing, and every week you'll make a new video to practice those skills. So there are structured exercises to help you to practice and develop your skills, and there's also a private Facebook group where you can ask questions at any time. We'll meet every week in small groups up to 4 people, where you'll show your video and you'll watch other people's videos, discuss them together, get feedback, learn from each other. This framework is very powerful for learning. If you've done a CELTA course, you'll know that this is true. Doing something challenging in a group means that you'll be motivated to actually make video, not just learn about making video. You'll be supported by the group and by me, obviously, and you'll be inspired by other people's great ideas. And all of this will help you to develop in your practice week by week. There are also one-to-one tutorials with me during the course, so I'll help you individually as well as in the group. And I want to make sure that you know what you're doing, but also to help you to formulate your ideas on where you're going and what you want to actually do with the video that you're making. So how you can best focus on making some money from video. Now, you might be thinking that you can learn all this from YouTube tutorials, and you can. I did, but it took me over 10 years to learn how to make engaging video and to make a living from it, and I've fallen into a lot of potholes along the road. I can smooth out that journey for you. I can show you a clear path, and I can make it much faster and more motivating, more doable. You might also be thinking that you could buy a tips and tricks to make video course much more cheaply than this on Udemy or something like that. And you're right, you could. But will you actually do anything at the end of it? So the difference here, I think the VoiCE program offers you the technical tools and the know-how, but the big difference is the support that you'll get from me and from the group, and the motivation, critically, the motivation to take practical steps and actually do it, not just think about it. The support doesn't end after the course either. You'll have access to the instructional materials forever, and perhaps more importantly, you'll stay part of our private Facebook group, and you can ask questions and post new video when you make it, get feedback from other people in a safe environment. I think that a like-minded and supportive community like this is really invaluable when you're starting down a new path, and that's what you'll have. Why should you do this course? We're coming to the end of this introduction, so let's summarise things a bit. There are 4 good reasons to take this course, I think. The first is that it will be a huge shortcut. There's lots of information about everything online. You can find out how to make video if you look, but it's taken me 10 years, as I said, of trial and error to do it well. And I'm going to share all of that with you. The second reason is that the best way to learn to do anything practical is to do it and to get feedback on it and to do it again and again. So if you can imagine a CELTA type experience for video making, then this is it. You will work hard. Nothing worth doing comes easily, but you'll do it within a supportive group with help from me and from each other, from discussing and analysing your own work and other people's. I've seen this approach work so well and lead to such enormous progress over a short period of time, I'm completely committed to it. The third reason is that if you've been thinking about making video for a while, maybe you've already started, but you're finding it hard to find your way, then this is going to give you the motivation that you need to stop procrastinating, to get down to it and to really take this forward with a group of like-minded people who are going to support you. Finally, and most importantly, I think, this really has the power to change your professional life and maybe your personal life too. I'm certainly living proof of that. If this wasn't enough, the course is interesting and exciting and fun, and it does take time. I would estimate about 6 to 8 hours a week to do this, but you will find that it's interesting work that I hope you'll enjoy doing. If all this sounds as if it's for you, then just hit the link and sign up. I look forward to working with you. If you think this sounds really good, but you'd like to check that this is a good fit for you, then hit the link to book a Zoom chat with me, no obligation, and we can talk it through and I can give you more information. In either case, I'm really looking forward to meeting you and to helping you to develop your video voice.